we will go to the jury trial. And what I can tell you is attorneys will tell you in this court, we move quickly on the jury trials because I don't want anyone waiting in jail for their jury trial. We did. What's happening with this case?
Your Honor, Mr. Miles would like to address the court.
All right. Hello, Mr. Miles. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine, ma'am.
Okay.
May I speak?
Oh, sure. Just give me one moment. Let me find you on the docket. All right. I see you. Yes, you may speak.
Okay. I would like to relieve my lawyer of her duties of representing me.
All right. Do you have an attorney that you're going to hire?
We had asked, I think last time I was here, I asked to get a bond so that we
No,
can.
my question is,
Yes,
do you
we're,
have an attorney that you're hiring?
yes, we have, I have another attorney that's also appointed courted, but I've also, me and my mother are trying to get me a lawyer that's gonna help me in my situation for my future, because my life running on line right now.
No, I understand what you're saying. So let me explain something to you.
Yes, ma'am.
The appointment will is where attorneys are, they're on an appointment will. The way it works is there are certain attorneys who are allowed to handle cases that are a certain level of felony. And that means that they have to have had so many trials and other things in order to be at that level.
Yes, ma'am.
If they are not deemed to be qualified for a specific level, then they are not allowed to be at that level.
Yes, ma'am.
So for this attorney to have been appointed to represent you, I can tell you she is qualified according to the will to be at that level of felony, which according to this, it's a 3rd degree. Now, I've been a defense attorney, I've been a prosecutor. As a defense attorney, let me tell you what my experience with some of my clients were. The state makes an offer. The client either wants their case dismissed or they ask me, why hasn't my case been dismissed yet? And I would tell them, the state makes their offer. You can either accept it or reject it. Or you can say, I'm rejecting it, but attorney, let the state know I'm willing to accept A, B, or C. And then your attorney can tell you, I don't think the state will accept that because they've already told me they're not going to accept that. But your attorney has a duty to go to the state and say, my client is willing to accept A, B, or C. Now, the prosecutor may say, that's ridiculous, or an offer may be given to you and you may say, that's ridiculous. Although I don't allow that in my court. I want everyone to be kind to each other. So people will nicely say, no, I will not give your client that. Or the client will say, no, I'm not accepting that. In this court, no one forces anyone to accept an agreement. You can accept it or not accept it. If you choose not to accept it, then you will have a jury trial. That's it. Your attorney cannot make the state give you whatever you think you deserve or whatever you want. All your attorney can do is tell the state, this is what we're willing to accept. The end. Now, if you want another attorney, then you will have to hire an attorney. Once you hire that attorney, then this case will have its jury trial date because your plea deadline date was on June 15th. And I extended your plea deadline date for today. So today is your plea deadline date. You can either accept the state's offer or not. It's completely up to you. If you choose not to accept their offer, then we will set this for a jury trial. And there are many cases that are set for jury trial. So wherever you fall, we will go to the jury trial. And what I can tell you is attorneys will tell you in this court, we move quickly on the jury trials because I don't want anyone waiting in jail for their jury trial. We did have a backlog. We had a backlog because I wasn't the first judge in this court. We also had a backlog because there was COVID and there were no jury trials. So now in this court, we're usually in trial every week. I can only do 1 trial a week, although one time we did do 2 in 1 week. But there are so many moving parts. One, I only have 1 jury room. So that's a reason why I can only do 1 jury trial a week. We're currently in a jury trial. So what I can tell you is your trial is not going to go today because we're currently in a jury trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you can accept the state's offer or not. That is completely up to you. You can issue them what's known as a counter offer, which means you're rejecting their offer, but saying this is what I can accept. And once you issue them a counter offer, they can either accept it or reject it, or they can say, we will reject this offer, but we will offer this. So that is how it works. But if you want another attorney, then you will have to retain an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Your Honor, I apologize. May I address the court?
Sure.
Mr. Miles has been very pleasant, very respectful. I've had communications with him and his mother. This case is old. And I do feel, and I think he would agree with me, that while our communications are pleasant, we have reached an impasse. I don't think that
Oh, well, when you reach an impasse, that means you go to jury trial.
I,
That's it.
no, and I understand, and I'm, whatever the court it would, I will follow the court. I just want to let the court know, I do think it would be difficult for Mr. Mao to assist me with his defense due to our impasse in reference.
Oh, well, he's going to talk to you or not. If he chooses not to talk to you, then you go to trial with a client who refuses to talk to you. So that's the way it works.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to address the court.
No, I appreciate that. So, Mr. Miles, if you refuse to talk to your attorney, then your attorney would go to jury trial without having spoken to you.
Okay, so I don't have an option of hiring my own attorney.
Oh, yes, you can hire your own attorney. I'm going to give you a jury trial date, but what I'm telling you is if you do not hire an attorney, this is going to be your attorney at trial. If you do not speak to this attorney is going to trial not having spoken to you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you don't speak to her about your case, then you all will be in jury trial and she's going to be sitting over there, not having spoken to you about your case, and whatever happens, happens. Do you understand?
Okay, can I answer this one?
Sure.
Since I've been in Bear County for a month, she has not came and spoken to me until the last time I was in.
All right, well, we're going to do this. Guess what? There's a jury box right over there. She's going to speak to you.
Okay, I'm asking also, ma'am, is it possible for me to have a bond so that I can reach out on services?
If anyone wants to file a motion, they can file a motion. But for now, just sit over the box and your attorney will speak to you. Okay.
Your Honor, and just for the record, I did file a motion to set bond on June 9th. It's just pending. I just wanted the court to know.
All right, just have the clerks pull it. All right, and if we could have everyone go in the back, we have a verdict. Oh, yeah, we can send it to Nahara, but before we send that, I want them to speak to each other in the box.
Okay.
Yes. All right, and could you call the defense attorney? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And then Norma, let Mr. Longacre know to stay around so that he can talk to his client. Court is calling 2022 CR 8453, State of Texas versus Mark Daniel Lewis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins with the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Ed Piker for Mr. Lewis.
And are you Mark Daniel Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Mark Daniel Lewis who is placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 8453 for the offense on unlawfully carrying a weapon with a felony conviction on January 13, 2023 for a term of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Honor, violated condition number 15G on or about the 26th day of May. And Judge, I'd like to orally.
Oh,
amend-
just one moment. Excuse me. Could you, if you all could move to the other end. Okay. All right. Are we proceeding on the motion as presented, State?
Judge, we'd like to orally amend, I've conferred with defense counsel. We'd like to orally amend the year. It should be May 2023 instead of May 2026, Judge.
All right, any objection?
Judge, I confer with my client on that and we have no objection.
All right, Mr. Lewis, do you understand that that's a substantive change to the motion to revoke?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that your attorney has 10 days to prepare for trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you wish to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, State.
On or about the 26th day of May 2023 in Russ County, Texas, the defendant, Mark Daniel Lewis, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions.
Excuse me, just one moment. Were you changing that date?
Yes, Judge, to 26th day of May 2023.
Okay, all right, thank you. Sorry about that.
Sorry. In Russ County, Texas, the defendant, Mark Daniel Lewis, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of the Bear County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Substance Abuse Treatment Facility, in that the defendant was behaviorally discharged from the East Texas State ISF unit in Henderson, Texas, in violation of condition number 15G.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation 15G, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 6 years in prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of 15G?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of 15G true. Is there an agreement?
Judge, we don't necessarily have an agreement. I have no object. The defense counsel has spoken with probation and we've conferred. And I think he has a proposal that he'd like to make to the court that the state has no objection to.
All right, Mr. Piker.
That's correct, Judge. And then I will call my client because he knows better what happened than I could ever tell you.
All right, Mr. Piker, what are you requesting?
I am requesting that the court consider keeping him on probation, not revoke him, and move him out of, don't revoke him, don't send him back to that facility and send him to lifetime recovery. We've looked into it. It's a 3-month residential. He's motivated. Actually, it was his suggestion that if that was possible to get him out of there, he wants to help. He wants to get off the drugs, but he can't do it where he's at.
Okay,
And he is going to explain that to you better than I can.
all right, Ms. Abrams,
I apologize. I cannot hear.
on this case, it is Mark Daniel Lewis. There was an incident at Henderson and he wants to, his attorney is suggesting that he be placed in inpatient at lifetime recovery.
Your Honor, probation would not have any objection.
Okay, and so that I will know, what is the issue with that facility? We'll say allegedly,
Would you like to hear it from me or from Mr. Lewis?
either one.
Mr. Lewis can explain it better than I, but I will tell you that he was in a gang. He was in a gang when he got there. He wanted out of the gang. He told him he wanted out of the gang. His life was threatened. His well-being was threatened. And quite honestly, from what he tells me, there was so much drug usage there and fight night that it was not conducive to getting better. It made it worse.
All right, and this is at the facility in Henderson, Texas?
Yes, ma'am. He will swear, he'll tell you that under oath.
Oh, no, I'm going to make sure that the facility at Henderson, Texas, that we do, that a spot check is done, random, so I can figure out what's going there, because the last thing I want is someone who's trying to get treatment and wants treatment to be sent to a facility where it's difficult to receive that.
And that's why I want him to address you, because I knew you'd be interested.
All right. You want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name.
Mark Lewis.
All right, so tell me what is going on at the Henderson facility?
Whenever I was here in this courtroom on January 13th, I signed for the 10 years probation. You gave me the choice to go receive help or go to TDC, where, so I chose the help. And whenever I was finally transported to Henderson, Texas, I threw myself into the program and I started learning about thinking errors. I started learning all the aspects I needed to learn for my first track, which was cognitive intervention. And had a very successful 45-day call. But during that time, I made the decision to step away from the gang affiliation that I was affiliated with. And I made it known that they were doing fight nights. There were people out there still smoking K too.
Fight nights.
Yeah, it was disrupted. The counselors would come in and they would read from a piece of paper for an hour and they would leave until the next day. And it was back to the same stuff. And I made it known that I didn't want no part of any of that anymore. I was trying to get back to my daughter. I let everybody know, like, I was back in my Bible. I was trying to get myself right. And a lot of people took that offensive and they threatened me and they were trying to jump me. And thankfully the guard was able to see that something was going on and they pulled me out of the dorm that I was in. And they placed me in a single man cell in restrictive housing. And when they came, they were like, they wanted to send me back to that environment. And I wasn't trying to go back to that environment because of the threat. And they said that by refusing that environment, I was refusing the program. And I knew that I would have to come back here and address you, but I'm trying to do better.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. So what I'll do then is I'll deny the motion and I'm going to alter and amend conditions to include lifetime recovery, the inpatient, and you'll be transferred from the jail to lifetime recovery.
Yes, Sean.
All right. Is there anything else?
That was it.
All right, we can go off the record. See what I mean about communication being key? If I don't know this is going on, then, but thank you so much for letting me know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You didn't get any more tattoos while you were there, did
No,
you?
thankfully not.
Okay.
Thankfully not.
And he's not from Indiana.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Your Honor.
Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you.
All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 3412B, State of Texas versus Mr. Sierra. How do you pronounce your first name? Eliza. State of Texas versus Eliza Sierra. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Humberto Saldana for Mr. Sierra.
And are you Mr. Sierra?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Sierra, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented
Yes, Your Honor.
on both counts?
Well, I believe the first count is with intent to deliver and the second count is just mere possession. So we're proceeding for the judge.
All right, state, are you proceeding on count one, waiving count two?
Yes, Judge.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, Mr. Sierra, I'm showing you what's entitled court's admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams? That's a first degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Sierra, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 1. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's a $500 fine. State recommends community supervision. There's to be judgment satisfied entered in county court for cause number 699061. You are to agree to have the weapon destroyed. And there's to be no possession of firearms while on community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged in count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I submit States Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No.
Any
objection.
objections?
No.
All right, state, you may continue to confer.
Thank you.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, he is gonna work once out there. He says that he is looking to get this all behind him. And he is asking for intensive outpatient treatment if possible, because he works so many hours. I know that the TAP will show that up, Your Honor. I just wanted to add that.
All right. So what do you do other than have cocaine and
I
meth?
do framing and construction cleaning,
Mhm.
and I have a business, clothing business that I'm trying to get off the ground.
Mhm.
And
And you're just doing drugs on the side, part-time?
no, just being foolish, Your Honor.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
I mean, how many years are we going to take this foolishness with us?
That's and everything happens for a reason. And being here incarcerated, you know, I've never really read the Bible and stuff like that. And I found that light in me now, you know, and I wake up more happy and everything now, you know, I'm ready to just take my life, you know, serious.
Yeah, what's your favorite verse in the Bible?
The Lord is my shepherd.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what verse is that?
It's Matthew.
What verse is that?
That's Psalms 23.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
It's my first time like really getting into it, you know.
Oh, no. I'm happy. Sometimes, you know, people will always say that people find Jesus at the jail.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they pretend like they're doing, but I'm always interested.
Yeah.
For me, whatever helps people get through this journey we call life,
Yes.
that's a
Yeah,
good
I
thing.
got 3 daughters and
Oh, what are their ages?
6, 7, and 8
And who do they live with?
with both me and my girlfriend,
Mm. And who is your girlfriend?
Emily Colleen.
What were you doing with Samantha then?
That's my cousin.
So you and Samantha Servin were out with
No,
drugs.
I wasn't out with-
I'm sorry, what?
I wasn't out with nobody.
What? What is he saying?
He's saying that he was not present with anybody at the time of the arrest.
No, you were in the vehicle. What is he talking about?
That is his cousin that is mentioned in there.
All right, is something wrong with him?
No, Your Honor, I believe that that's the only aspect that he sort of maintained was not accurate on the report. But he says everything else is accurate.
So you were not in the vehicle?
I was in the vehicle, but there's nobody with me.
Oh, so you're saying Samantha wasn't in the car with you?
I was by myself in that car.
No, they have S1 and S2.
Your Honor,
It says, based on my observations during my surveillance of the listed location and results of the traffic stop, we were able to detain S2, who who was the subject of our investigations. We encountered S2 small children occupying several bedrooms of the home. Okay.
I was just drunk, I guess. I just,
No problem. I understand. I'm going to need a PSI report on this. Ms. Ferguson, when can we come back? I need a TAP evaluation.
And I know it's a little unorthodox to ask, but would the defendant be eligible for a bail bond under the circumstances that he's already pled?
No, we'll see about a TAP evaluation, and maybe we can get the TAP evaluation done quickly. Will it take long to have a TAP evaluation? Okay. Oh, thank you. So Ms. Ferguson, can we recall this back in 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm just asking for a TAP evaluation so I can get an idea of what's going on.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can have him come back on July 17th.
All right, so we're going to be back on July 17th. Mr. Sierra, you need to be very honest with what you tell them in the TAP evaluation, because there's something going on here I'm not able to figure out because I don't have enough information yet. So make sure you're honest with them, okay?
yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 9151W, State of Texas versus Jamie Lozano. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Robert Mauer for defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Jamie Lozano?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jamie Lozano who's placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 9151W for the offense of burglary of a building with intent to commit theft on September 23rd, 2022 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 2, on or about the 19th day of October 2022 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Jamie Lozano, is in there illegally using a controlled substance, namely methamphetamine, in violation condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated conditions.
Did you understand by pleading to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. And I'm sorry, defense, any objection to the state's waivers?
No, Judge.
All right, is there an agreement?
No, there's not, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
The state would just recommend revocation.
Defense, what are you requesting?
So Judge, the last time we heard the court had or ordered an evaluation for Ms. Lozano for mental health, and she didn't qualify for DDRF or any of the other mental treatment programs. The probation department's recommendation was SATIF. Ms. Lozano wanted to address the court about her request to be continued.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jamie Lozano.
All right, did you want to question her or?
Okay, Judge, I figured it'd be easier if she can just explain to the court what she's seeking and why she's seeking it. So
right,
explain
yes.
to the judge what she told me.
No objection.
Thank you.
I have a 15-year-old son that I'm raising alone with my family helping me. And I'm the
Then you're not raising your 15-year-old.
Well, I mean, like without his father. His father's never been in the picture.
You're mumbling. You need to stop mumbling because the court reporter needs to hear, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, you may continue.
Oh, well, I just want to go back on probation. I told the probation officer that day that I was coming up dirty and then, you know, that I was sorry, and I've been sober since then. And my sister and my family is all sober.
Who is your sister?
She's present, Judge. She's person in the Air Force. She's in the Air Force.
Oh,
I
what's your
spoke to her.
sister's name?
JC Lozano.
Okay.
She lives across the street.
So what do you think should happen to you for testing positive?
I mean, I came back to jail and I've been sitting there and I've been reading my books. And
No, my question, listen to my question. What do you think should happen to you for testing positive? I do remember you. Your hair color has changed. So what are you requesting? What do you think should happen? You tested positive.
I'm not sure what the options are for that. I was already gotten back sober, but I don't mind going to classes. I do. They had said they recommended counseling, and I would love to do counseling.
All right. So what I can tell you right now,
Mhm.
I'm going to give you a choice. Sometimes I can't give people choices. It depends on what the case is and what's going on.
Yes.
You can either be continued and go into inpatient treatment,
Mhm.
or either you can go to the state jail facility for 18 months. Which would you prefer? But either way, you're not leaving this courtroom and you're not leaving custody.
This is my first time like ever coming up.
My question is, do you prefer 18 months in the state jail facility or inpatient drug treatment? Which do you prefer?
Can I talk to my lawyer?
Sure. We're back on the record in 2022 CR 9151W, State of Texas versus Jamie Lozano. All right, Ms. Lozano, have you had a chance to discuss your options with your attorney?
Yes.
All right, so which do you prefer? 18 months in the state jail facility or inpatient treatment?
I want outpatient treatment, but I'll take the.
I cannot hear you.
I said I want the outpatient that was recommended, but I guess I'll have to take the.
No, I mean, you're not doing outpatient treatment.
It wasn't recommended. Inpatient was recommended.
Inpatient treatment was recommended. Here's the thing, Ms. Lozano, you were here before me previously, and at that time, I believe you had green purplish hair.
No.
Your hair was not blonde,
It was yellow.
yellow. Okay. So you were here before me. So I remember you. And I thought then that you had drug issues. And what I said at that time was, we will try it your way. And so you were given a chance to be in the free world and not use, but you used. There are consequences for actions. And people seem to think that the consequence for the actions is to cry and beg to get what they want. If everybody could write their own program when they have a drug problem, you wouldn't be here because you would have written your program and you would do great on it. And I can say that if I could write my own weight loss program and have it work, guess what? I wouldn't continue to eat the pecan turtle ice cream that they have, the HEB brand, which they're out of now. And that's not because of me. So what I'm going to do is you are going either to inpatient treatment and you're going to SATF. Is that what they're
That's the
recommending?
recommendation.
All right. And I'll have you referred to felony drug court. If felony drug court accepts you, then you can go to felony drug court. But if they do not, you're going to SATF. And what I can tell you is felony drug court is not going to accept you if you come with your idea that I only used one time.
And used one time.
Let her talk.
And let me just tell you, the problem is your sister and other people who are in the military, living their life, doing what they're supposed to do, they want what's best for you. And they want to believe you. But my experience with people who are addicted, they tell great stories. And sometimes I'm listening to it and I'm like, that sounds very believable. Maybe they did go to outer space. Maybe the moon is made of green cheese or blue cheese because it sounds so believable. And your relatives want to believe you, but you need to get your life together. It's currently not. It's chaos. And I'm trying to help you with the chaos.
That was not my life. I was already starting my business that I have already started.
No,
I was.
because you know why? You know why I know that was your life?
And I had returned, that was in October, and between October and then I got sober and I was living with my parents in order to help me get.
You know
back
why
on
I
my
know
feet
your
and
life
start
is
my business.
chaos? Because you're here in a felony court
I
for a
called the
felony
police on myself.
charge.
Stop talking.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
You're here in a felony court for a felony charge.
Yes, I understand.
So
It's my
again,
rental house.
So again, if you don't want the treatment, you can just do your 18 months. You'll do your 18 months, you'll be done, and you can make whatever treatment plan you want to. So do you want the 18 months in the state jail facility or do you want treatment? That's either yes or no. If you don't want treatment, then I will not give it to you. Somebody else will take advantage of it and you can do your 18 months. You can mark your days off on your calendar. You'll get credit for any time that you've already been in custody for this case, and you can mark 18 months of your life off on the calendar. And then when you get out, maybe your sister or somebody will take you in. Maybe you will not use any more drugs. It's completely up to you. Do you want the inpatient treatment, or do you want to do your 18 months? Which would you prefer? No, here's the thing. Your sister can't turn around. Turn around. Your sister cannot want treatment for you more than you want it.
I was doing treatment already out there.
All right, I'm going to help you out because I
want
see
the
you need help.
treatment. Like, I do want. the
I'm going to
treatment, but I
sentence you
wouldn't
to
wanna be
18
able to.
months. I'm going to grant the motion. I'm going to grant the motion, sentence you to 18 months in a state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $500 fine, time and money will run concurrent. Counsel, I'll retain jurisdiction.
I'll talk to her sister about that, Judge.
Okay.
I don't see a whole lot of point with it.
All right. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right. You have a limited,
Yes, that's my signature.
all right. You have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal as it relates to the allegation and the motion, not the fact that you're on probation. Do you understand?
No, I don't know what
All right, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition.
Oh.
If you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. And what is her sister's name?
AC Lozano.
All right. And what's her rank?
I'm not sure her rank right now. She's
No, I'm not
getting out.
talking to you. I'm talking to her. What's your rank? All right. So I want to let you know that I appreciate your coming in here. Sometimes you can't give help to people when you offer it. They have to want it. And if they want it and they have issues, I will give it to them. So don't think that this is your fault. You've done everything that you can do.
You know, she's
Thank
sober,
you.
too.
Thank you so much.